Hey brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to our build of the Enterprise D. Issue 6 has finally arrived. It's been a little while waiting on this one, so we're going to be getting started with this one, and things are going to get interesting with this issue, because a lot of the stuff that we've been working on over the past episodes is going to really start coming together. We get to assemble a lot of stuff. Things are going to be going on to the saucer frame. We're going to be assembling a bit more to do with the star drive as well. There's going to be a lot of windows and wiring jobs. So this one might take me a while. I'm really hoping that it's going to be nice and simple, but from just looking at the instructions, I think I'm going to be here all night. But let's not waste any more time. Let's just get started and see what's up first. So you're going to see straight away that we've already got quite a lot of stuff that we need to be working on with this stuff. Some of this I don't think gets dealt with in this part of the assembly. I know this bit here is for the star drive section. We're going to end up using this bit later, so I'm going to put it aside for now, because first off, I've got to go about putting all the windows and escape pods into this bill of hull plate. So we'll flip her over and I'll start plugging things in. So first up we got the escape pods, which, as we've seen before, they just twist out rather nicely. They don't take much effort, and I really like that. And all of the, kind of nasty little, grotty bits are all going to be hidden under the saucer plate, so or under the hull plating. So, that's really nice. And just hide in like that and look rather good. Again, I think I'm getting in the right way. Escape pods are in. Now I've got an awful lot of stuff to do for getting the windows in. So this one's going to take a while. There's a lot to be putting in. Right, now these little ones, they're longer windows than the normal ones. So I think they're intended for this strip here in the middle. So I want to make sure I don't use these. I'm going to put them to one side for the moment, and I'll get the rest of the windows put in. Alright, the clear windows are all done. I swear, doing this for the entire starship is going to be the death of me. I'm going to go mad. But okay, let me gently put this down and I'll get my dark windows sorted. Windows in dark mode, let's go. So those windows are all done. I'll delicately put this down so I can turn the page in the instructions. I don't want things to fly everywhere. So one thing that's come in with this issue are these. They're just basic stickers, really. For the most part, they're getting used for kind of cable management within the model. Using these stickers to kind of tie all the cables together so we can keep them nice and tidy. But it does say to use one to secure some of the lights. So if I can, if I can peel that off the paper without ruining tearing the paper itself. And I say ruining, like, am I really going to care about this? I don't think so. But we just want to kind of seal these ones in place. I suppose we're sticking some of the, I've done an awful job of that. That is horrifically untidy, but that's a nice little bit of security there, I guess. And hopefully that's not going to be... It doesn't look too awful on this side, I think. I'm not sure. And now I've got to put the long windows in, and then we can sort out the lights and the reflector panel. Okay, all windows installed. Now, we've got to take one of these cables here. I don't think it matters which one. I think they're all the same. Yeah, they've all got the exact same wiring, so we've got to split them apart a little, I think. Actually, I'm not sure, because they're going in exactly the same spot, pretty much. We've just got to bend these carefully so that we get a nice right angle ish. That one's going for a bit more of a kind of cobra head sort of look. But we want to get them like that. Then our reflector panel is going in over this. Oh, like so. Oh, I don't like the way it rattles, because all the windows and everything aren't secure yet. With a little bit of jiggling, we've got the wire in. Now need to find the right screws, which are the BP ones. No oil spills, please. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking when, you know, all of the Windows stuff isn't secure yet. I panic. We're still not quite fully secured in here yet, because we've got some more lights that we need to stick in around on the outsides. So, doesn't matter where they're going. So taking these ones with the yellow and white wires, I think, do they need to be angled? Angle the bulbs as before. Yep, let me do that. Now that those are in, just need to secure it with some more BP screws. These screws seem to be hugging. They're having a nice time, I think. They're surprisingly stuck together. What the hell happened here? They're actually fused. There's like glue in between them. Well, I fucking lost one of them now. Yeah, I'm never going to find that screw again. It's just gone. Lost into the ether. But now, this is where things get interesting. Because we get to go and put our bit of hull plating onto our saucer frame. And I've really been looking forward to this, so I've got to view these instructions carefully so that I don't mess up the wires. Because the wiring is the bit that I'm really worried about. I think we should be okay. But we start with turning the saucer upside down. I need some room, my word. So this is going right at the front of the saucer, essentially just above 10 forward. And, right, I need DP screws to fix it in. I think. Yes. As I said, I want to make sure that I'm getting this right, because I don't want any cock-ups. So this central light needs to feed in through here. And we want the DP screws are going to fix in just in here. So now we've got to organize the rest of these lights. These instructions seem a little unclear. Right. So DP screws are going in through here. These little notches in the frame. Now I have the fun part of trying to get this all in place and installed. I am trying to get this in the right place, aren't I? Yeah, I think I am. It just looks awkward. Right. I think that's on. I think. I've got to get these lights plugged in, I believe. I think they need to go in here. Yeah, I need to get these lights in these little corner bits. And then... do I have to do any more securing? No, I think that's it for the time being. Alright, okay. Give me a minute. But there we have it. First part of the saucer hull is now on the frame. These wires just want to go everywhere. So, to that end, we're going to do a teeny little bit of cable management. So, just using one of the stickers, just bound those wires together, stop them all from flailing around all over the place. Right, what's next? Okay, next up, we've got to take some of the panels that we've already worked on, and we've got to get them on here. And this is where things are going to get interesting, because some of them I've got to kind of partially disassemble. so that I can feed the wires through, get everything in the correct place. So I'm going to be here for... I've already been here for over half an hour just trying to fiddle around with this bit. I'm going to be here all night. God damn. So I preemptively emptied my box of bits. Just to get all of the saucer hull pieces that we'd already worked on. So the first one we've got to do is we've got to disassemble this a little bit so that we can get... I think it's this little bit of the lower plate needs to come on first, because that's needing to sit right next to the bit that we've just installed. So let me just take apart what we've already built. Seems a bit counterproductive. And we'll crack on with really turning this saucer into much more of a dish. The biggest problem with this is just trying to figure out where all the cables need to go. I think I'm getting stuff in the correct place, but you know, when you've only got, you know, a flat image with just arrows pointing in various different directions, it can be a bit hard to gauge. Is there an N-gauge pun in there somewhere? Not on about Nokia. Oh, how the fuck is that meant to go there? This is tricky business. I wasn't lying when I said I was going to be here all night. Is this one even going in the right place now? No, it is not. Oh, that's fantastic. No wonder I'm struggling. I read these instructions like 4 times before I even got started with this. Oh, it's going to be a long night. Okay. It's taken a while, but I think that plate's in. My god. Right, next up is another one of our previously assembled pieces. Where are you going? I don't know, but I'm taking one of your bulbs out as well, so that's encouraging. Makes me feel good, that does. So this one is coming in here. We're just kind of working around the saucer in a singular direction at the moment. And your wire needs to go in through here. Alright, cool. Let's try and get you plugged in. Right, that one went in a little bit better than I expected it would. And oh yeah, we're getting a nice curve around that saucer now. Oh. But it is like, it's extending beyond the edge of the frame, so if I thought this thing was already monstrous, it's only gonna get worse. Now, as we go into the next stage, we've got to extend the saucer kind of up in this direction, so we've got to bring this piece of the whole plating back in. We're going to stick a couple of windows in first, so some of the spares that we had from doing this bad boy up the front, we're going to sort that out, and then we'll plug them all in, and then we get to test the new lights. Well, new lights for this piece. Okay, I'm not sure if I've missed a step, but this bulb was intentionally removed when we took this piece that we're trying to install off. I'm meant to be installing another bulb here. Now, I've got one wire left over. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be using this one. Like, the wording in the instructions isn't particularly clear on that, so... I think that is the case. It's just being a bit confusing. Yeah, I think that is what I need to be doing. What I need to do first, I think, is I need to try and get the saucer panel back in. God, this thing's starting to get so damn heavy. Because once I've got this somewhat in, I can kind of get the lights to hold in place a little bit. So that one wants to slide in there. Oh boy. And then I need to take one of these other ones. And you want to go in on this side. Bloody hell. Alright. I'm gonna have to fiddle around with this off camera because I ain't gonna get this sorted like this. I've been working on the starship all the livelong day. Gonna be all bloody night at this rate. Oh yeah. You came loose. No, don't do that. Admittedly, you're not properly secured in yet, so, you know, that's it's understandable. It's expected of a man in your position. Now I'm never going to get this one back in. Oh, good God. Right, I think I got it. Okay, cool. So, why does this not look right? I mean, it doesn't look right because that's obviously the center line. And I'm kind of looking at it like this. It's like that's the center line. It looks off. There's an escape pod that looks... Oh boy. A couple of these escape pods don't look like they've gone in particularly well. I don't know how well you're going to see on here, but they're not quite flush. Like that one in the top right, you can really see is looking a bit wonky. Does that mean I've got to disassemble this whole thing? Like some of the joins between the hull plates look a bit off. Maybe it's me being neurotic, but I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Okay, I think I've nearly got this. It looks better, so that's an improvement. Okay, I've got that bit sorted. Right, testing the lights that I've just installed. Let's have a look. They work. Good. On to the next bit. God, this has taken nearly an hour and a half. So we've got one last piece to do here on the saucer frame for now. And that is, I'm just going to show it here because it's going to be easier, to put our first little bit of phaser strip just in this gap. So it's going to take a couple of screws and then we're done with the saucer for now. I think we're going to be coming back. And there you have our saucer section so far. It's looking pretty good, I gotta say. It is just awkward as all hell, and I'm really starting to weigh a lot. Where I was holding that, it was really starting to dig into my thumb. When my thumb was right in here. That hurts. And the last piece we get to do as part of just stage 19 assembly. We're still on just the first stage that came with this issue. We don't need that can go. Is we've got to take this new part of skeletal frame and attach it onto this kind of cobra head part of the star drive section. So let me figure out which way up this needs to be going. It needs to be going in, got the underside there, and you need to fit in whereabouts? Something like that, I think. That seems correct. So we need a load of BM screws for that. Good job I got a bag full of them. Alright, there we go. Those two bits of frame are now firmly stuck together. You can see we've got some spaces in here for where the docking clamps are going to be for the saucer when they connect. So that's stage 19, all done. Moving on to stage 20. And lo and behold, it's another deck plate with more windows that I need to put in individually. Don't you just love it? But we also have a new battery box, and this one is a bit more of a permanent addition. It's got a little on-off switch, so we're going to get around to installing that in a bit as well. I think the way they've done it, or the way they've implemented that one, I think is very clever. So we'll just separate those two pieces out, and I've got to fill this with windows and escape hatches. Alright, not wasting any time, that one's all done. Let's plug it into the board. We'll check to see how all the lights are working. And honestly, I think they're working great. It's really good. I do love getting to test all the lights. It's just the best bit of all this. Because they are really bloody bright. I mean, here, that is ridiculously bright. Here, they are seeming quite dull. I suppose dull is not quite the correct word. I mean, probably dimmed. I don't know if that one's definitely not in place correctly. Hard to tell whether it's in well enough or not. I suppose it will, kind of come more into place once everything's connected to the frame. For now, it just feels a little on the flimsy side. But otherwise, we're done with that bit. And I've gone blind from staring at those bloody lights. So next up, putting this onto the frame. Where do you go? So this one goes in on this side. Okay. This should be interesting. And there's another bit of dish. Put on. A little bit of saucer, bit of hull. However you want to put it. We've got to take the last panel that we created, which was back in... That was back in... I think the last issue, maybe the issue before. And this one needs to come in and sit right on top here. So let me go about getting that in. If I can figure out how I got to wire all the cables. And while it's looking like a bit of a jigsaw piece, that's as much as we've got done so far. And I think I need to go and open a window because it's boiling in here. This is taking so long. But ooh, it's starting to look nice. Look at that. It's starting to look like a saucer now. I like it. Now, moving on to stage 21, you're going to notice we've got another battery box. This one, I think, is going to be more of a permanent addition. I think I might have already said. We've got a little on-off switch on this one. This one is going to be our battery box for the entire star drive section, I believe. So we've got to get that installed, and I really like the way that they've gone about implementing this. I think it's really quite clever. This has to sit in here, right into the top of the star drive frame. So let me grab a couple of screws and we'll get this plugged in. So our battery box is just installed there, nestled nicely under what will be the battle bridge. So the next thing I've got to do is I've got to sort out the battery box nut and the little cover that's got to go over that. So I'm hoping that the screws aren't going to mess up on this one like they did with the other. So yeah, give me a minute, I'll get that looked at. So the back plate piece here for the battery box nut has been done. Now they haven't sent, well, certainly not in this little stage of assembly. I think it might be in the last part. I don't know if we're getting the front plate for it, but well, I haven't. It's been a while since I looked at the parts for the last bit, so who knows? Maybe I'm misremembering things. For now, we can set that aside, and we've got another deck plate to do. So the first thing we need to sort out is the phaser strip. I think these are interchangeable. I'm not sure if one of these is meant to be a spare. I think I might be using this on another bit of hull plating. So let me get the screws in for that one. I need CP. So the phaser strip is installed. Now I need to take the little adhesive backing off of this and get that fit into this little space just there. So now that we've got that little transporter emitter stuck on, we can flip this over and we've got some more windows and escape pods to go about installing. What I have done is I've dug out all of the spare sprues that we've had over the last few issues. I'm going to try and use some of these up so that I can just get rid of some of the excess plastic. So I need 5 escape pods, and then we need to grab some windows. Okay, everything's all set there. Now we need to get that onto the frame. So I need some space. Quite possibly the final frontier, I'm not 100% sure. So the plate we've just built is going to be mirroring things here. I think we need to get a couple of these light bulbs to stick into place and to get that plate installed there. I've got to start sorting the plate first, so let me flip this thing over and we can observe the chaos beneath. Right, that has just been temporarily held in with a single screw because I need to start sorting out the wiring for this. And it is getting a bit cluttered in here. I know it's only going to get worse. But my god, I've got to get 2 bulbs into these spaces. I've got 1 free at the moment, and I think I've got this one here that I need to use as well. So all of the screws have been installed, securing this to the frame. We've got to chuck a few more in just along here that need to secure this plate to the reflector panel and just kind of fix those lights in a little more firmly. And we're in. That front part of the saucer is really starting to come together and is looking lovely. I'm really liking how this is all coming together. But now we get to go about testing all the lights in this new panel. And I think the ones that are going to be on here. So let me plug them up and we'll see how they look. Ooh, yeah. So those ones are now lit, along with the ones under this panel. And these two, which are going to be for, presumably, the deck plates that are going to be going around on this side. But I think we're done with this bit. Now we're getting around to the last stage of assembly for this issue. And with it comes more hull plating, more windows, more lights. Ah, boy. Okay. First up, install everything on the back of this. There's a lot of windows on this one. I might be a while. Oh no. Sneezed and all my windows fell out. Why do I do this? Right, no more sneeze accidents, but everything's installed there. Now I've got to sort out the back plate, or the reflector plate, reflector panel, and all of these bloody cables. Right. Now this one here has got like 4 lights on it. Actually, 3. I can count. So I'm gonna check. So I don't think I need to be using that one just yet. No, we need to keep that one aside for the star drive section, because some of those lights are a little bit on the special side. So let's. No, I need both sets of these. Now we need to put one in on each side, like so. And then we need to get this installed on the back. Really? Sometimes it's just easier to get the reflector panel on first. But there we go. That panel is now done. Last step for this thing is to install it onto the frame. So this section is going to be attaching on here. I've got to be very careful with my wiring, I think. So let's flip it over and figure out where things need to be. Alright, that one's not gone on quite flush with the plate that's next to it, but I have a feeling that when we come around to, you know, putting the rim around everything, that's going to kind of pull everything down a little bit. Either that or I've just tightened the screws up a bit too much. I don't know if I have. I might loosen them just a touch. Just so that I'm not, like, breaking anything. It's got a little bit more give. Just there. You can just about see it moving. But otherwise, that's coming along pretty damn well. That is looking really nice. I like this. But we're done with the saucer section for now. Let's move on to more of our star drive. So what we need to do is we need to take this section, we need to flip her over, and we need to take these. These are the docking clamps for the saucer. So, oh my god, I can't even get into this. Oh, and they're going everywhere. Brilliant. Now, some of these are kind of constructed slightly different. Like, you'll see that one's got a little bit of a notch taken out of it. And some of them don't have that. There's 2 of each type, I think. I'm going to make sure I get them in the right way around. I think that one goes in there. Like, they're just kind of falling through at the moment. Which, you know, not... I'm sure we'll be securing them later on. But for now, I just need to drop them in and get them into place. Doesn't help that they kind of want to fall through. Right, now we've got to take this And we've got to get this on the back of it. Well, that's just fantastic. Everything's falling off. Right, the two at the front seem a little more secure, which is good. Like, they're not trying to fall out on me. They're rattling around, but they're not trying to fall out. Right, now I've got to figure out... I think I put these in the wrong way round. And I believe we're in. Now I've got to fix the skeleton in place. And these things shouldn't fall out, which would be good. Right, and those are all in. Right, they're still very loosely held in place. I'm sure we'll get some way of securing them more firmly in coming episodes. Episodes? Issues. I mean, I'm doing episodes. I don't know, with how long this one's taking, I think I'm about to have one. But I do like this. Like, that being this, but like where we hide the batteries, I think that is just infinitely genius. Wonderfully clever. I love that. That's so good. I'm easily impressed, I've got to be honest. I really am. But now we've got to install the circuit board for the start drive section. So I need this little bit of plastic. I've got to figure out which way it goes around. I think that is this way. It's going to sit in somewhere here. I think like that. That seems right. That is right. Excellent. I need screws, as always. And our first bit of permanent circuitry is in place. Now, I've got to take these funky battle section lights, and I've got to figure out where they get wired. They're going in somewhere around here, so they need to be wired into this port here. And now we need to separate these lights out. These two at the back should blink when they're receiving power. They're going to be running lights. So when we get to test the lights on this one, I'm looking forward to seeing them in action. So these running light wires have had to be weaved around a little bit. We've had to kind of thread them through the skeleton a little bit so that they'll pop out the back. They will be getting fixed into position. Like these bloody things. I'm looking forward to getting those secured so that they don't rattle around. But yeah, that bit's looking pretty good so far. So if I flip this back over, actually no, we want it this way up, because we get to take this piece from another one of our earlier assemblies, and we've got to stick this on the back as well. So first off, I've got to see how to separate all the wires out. I don't need those ones. I just need these ones from the front, or these bits here. I need these. And they need to thread through in a similar way to the running lights. Oh, okay. And the impulse light. Are you threading through anywhere? You probably should be. I think that's going through. Oh, man. Right. I think I've got this mess of wires threading through in the correct places. This feels daunting as all hell. I'm going to try and pull all these through, because we've got to pull this down, and then we've got to lock it in place. Oh man. One thing that's really kind of nerve-wracking about this is I'm really concerned I'm crushing all of the wires, because you know the kind of the way they've been threaded through, they are, you know, kind of getting in and under the skeleton, and I'm a little nervous that I'm going to break something. But I'm following the instructions. I'm doing what it tells me. I just... Okay, so I've installed this. I've done as much screwing in as I possibly can, and I've got a massive bloody gap along here. I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be like that. I think what might have happened is, I think I've got a similar issue to what I had with the battery box that I had in like the earlier issues, where the screw has just completely ruined the plastic that it's meant to be threading into, and as such it's not got anything to pull. So I don't quite know what to do there. I don't know if there's going to be any other part of the assembly that's going to be designed to pull these pieces together. It mentions nothing in the instructions about there being a gap in all of this, so because you can see right in there, I'm pretty sure it's not meant to be doing that. And you can see that it has come down a lot further on this side, whereas this side is the one that is just endlessly spinning. So I really don't like that. I'm gonna leave that there. I might see what other people have experienced with that, because yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's just fucked up, and I don't like that. But there is a little bit more that we need to do here. So we need to take the front plate off of the old battery box, and we need to use that on this new one. I also just realised I need to do all of my wiring, because we can at least test all the lights on this. Well, the batteries have been installed and perfectly sealed away with the battle bridge. Let's switch the lights on. Oh, look at that. Blinking running lights and everything. That is nice. Okay. Something good came out of this portion of things. I can be happy about that. Underneath here, I haven't done anything for kind of cable management, keeping things tidy yet, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing about this section with the impulse engine on. I'm going to have to see if anybody else has had any issues with this, but as things currently stand, I'm not feeling particularly good about the use of, you know, the plastic in this, because the screws just, they don't want to hold. And when it comes down to all of the metal components, like, I'm not having any issues with getting screws in and for them just staying in place, but with the plastic bits, you know, all the plastic sections, you know, I'm going about installing this, you know, screws and different components with a lot more care, because things like this have been happening. You know, fortunately this is only like the second time throughout this build that this has happened, but while the battery box wasn't so much of a problem and was a fairly easy fix, I don't know how I'm going to handle this one. And that's not fantastic. So, yeah. As it stands, the build is going great so far, but this has been one massive gripe for me, and I don't know where I'm going to go with trying to fix this, but I will see what I can do before the next portion of components comes around. Hopefully, I might be able to do something about it. That being said, I'm going to wrap this video up here, and I will just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do check out the playlist on the channel for more Let's Plays, metal covers, and more Star Trek related content. And if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, do subscribe to the channel, maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and I'll catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield, signing off.